guys, it's your girl Corporate Carolyn, and before my husband comes home, I wanted to talk to you about something that might be a little touchy, and I certainly don't want to hear another man listening because they already think we're crazy anyway. But I have a question for you. Has any man ever said that you were an angry black woman, or that maybe you were combative, or that you weren't very nice? Now, if you take a moment and do some self-reflection. It's funny, a gentleman commented that I was very self-aware. I try to be. I try to see my faults, see areas where, I fall short. And I think that more of us need to do that, especially as you're trying to find your husband, to look to see what your flaws are, what could be holding you back from finding your Mr. Right. And a lot of times black men are complaining, especially, I don't know about white men, I haven't really heard them speak as much, so I can't speak for them, but a lot of black men think that we collectively as black women are not very nice. And to be honest, with this voice and this proclivity to be very prissy, a lot of black ladies are not nice to me. Like in the workplace, a lot of them might not make eye contact, might look to the left, might look to the right. They might say hi to a white person or be nice to the white person, but not as nice to me. And I'm burning up. I don't know why. I think it's because it's over 75 and I'm just turning the air conditioner on. So bear with me if you see me sweating. Excuse me. Oh, but anyway, maybe some ice water will help. But anyway, so a lot of men complain that we're not very nice, especially. Here's one of the most popular scenes where you might see black women acting up. Like say if you're at a club or at a bar and maybe some music is on or something, or you're at a party, and then a black guy might approach you with your girlfriends, and then he says, do you want to dance? And sometimes women might laugh and they might just say, oh no, I'm good, and you stay with your friends, and after he makes the walk of shame back to where he was, you guys are laughing or snickering. How hard would it have been to dance with him? How hard would it be to make eye contact and maybe laugh and joke with the person? One dance, what does that do? If I hadn't asked my husband to dance like almost 35 years ago, we wouldn't be married now. Isn't that interesting? That just one dance led to 32 plus years of marriage and 2 beautiful children. I think a lot of times we're shooting ourselves in the foot by less than nice behavior. And the reason I speak of this with a melting of this nice business is because I actually got busted out on this once. My husband that I'm talking about, we met at Clemson University, and we were dating, or at least getting to be friends and dating or whatever. And I wasn't very nice back then. I wasn't very nice to black women, especially because a lot of times some of you guys didn't believe that this was my voice, and it really is, which is comedy. Growing up in the projects, and no one else in my family talks like this. We lived in Washington, D.C. for about 7 months when I was 4. When my mother separated from my father, she left him because he was beating, cheating, and you name it. And so we came to the DC area, and I wound up going to Head Start in Southeast, and the Head Start teacher was a lovely white woman who talked very differently from what I had been hearing, and I think my voice must have just latched on to that. And I actually have a picture from that moment. If you bear with me, I'm gonna go get it. But this was me in Southeast in Washington when I was 4 with my mom. And so anyway, so when I got to Clemson, a lot of the ladies or girls were just not nice to me. And, I wasn't selected to pledge any sororities. White women were nice to me, but black women weren't. And so after a while, I got really mad because I grew up with people not being nice, and I was tired of it, doggone it. And so I wouldn't even bother, because I was saying when I'm nice to a lot of them, I get the same result as if I'm not nice, if I don't make any effort. So then my thought was, what's the point? Why even bother? And so I stopped trying to be nice to black women. And then as my husband and I would go out and we'd go to parties or whatever, and he saw he picked up on how I was all of a sudden maybe being catty and not being nice. And he said, "You're too beautiful of a girl to be that mean to people." He said, "You shouldn't be like that." And I was like, "What?" And then all of a sudden that kind of like, snapped me out of it. And I said, "Oh, okay, I have to be nice to people." And so I just said, "Okay, I'll be nice whether people are nice to me." Because the Bible does say, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you," not do unto them as they're doing unto you. So anyway, and then also he even helped to heal my relationship with my mother back then, because he heard the way we were talking to each other on the phone. And then he said, "You shouldn't be talking to your mom like that." And I said, "But you don't hear her, she's talking to me." And he said, "That doesn't matter, she's your mother." I was like, doggone it. And so I listened to him, and that really helped me to do better with my mom during years where I was struggling with some hurt, like dealing with the molestation that I had mentioned in another video, but that's neither here nor there. So I had issues that led to me not being nice. So my question to you is, if you're not being nice, or you being combative or mean has hurt your dating opportunities, then I have a suggestion. You need to look back to see what open wounds you might be having, or that you might still have, and that need healing, and start working on yourself, self-assessing, looking for weaknesses, areas of improvement. And if it turns out that you do have some wounds that are in need of healing, I have a recommendation. It's Healing the Soul of a Woman, a devotional by Joyce Meyer. I'll put the link in the comments when I do this. It's 90 inspirations of overcoming your emotional wounds, and I'm getting ready to read it a second time, because even though I'm constantly working on myself, I realize that I still have some wounds that need to be healed. And at different times, it makes me not want to be bothered with people. It makes me, well, except for my husband and my kids, just sometimes I'm like short patience. Like Joyce Meyer talked about having a do not disturb sign on your heart sometimes, and that's what I can have, because people be getting on my last nerve. And so I know that it's because of trauma and wounds from my past. So a lot of times before you find your Mr. Right, if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, you might want to like do a stop point and say, "Okay, let me get this right. Let me fix it, just in case it's hurting my chances of finding my Mr. Right." And the reason this envelope is in here, for some reason I write on the backs of envelopes. If you do get this devotional, you'll want to go to item 11, or section 11, and it's called The Painless Path. I think that this will really help you, because it talks about how your journey to healing won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And then it talks about how you have to open up areas of your life you may have kept hidden, or stuff somewhere deep inside of you. That's something that a lot of time causes us to be angry, defensive, combative. And so a lot of times nobody takes the time to say, "Well, why is she being like that?" And maybe you've never asked yourself. But if this sounds even remotely familiar to you, you definitely might want to try this. And so Joyce was doing something that was really important to me. She said, "Your parents did not love you, and they never will." Like for some of you that might be struggling like I did. And she said, "It wasn't your fault, so let it go and move on." So that's one of the things that I'm currently working on. And she was saying that she had to do this for herself, because they were both wounded themselves and did not even know what real love was. That's some powerful stuff for you. If you're acting a fool sometimes, it just means that little girl within you is still hurt from trauma, and it makes you act out in ways that a lot of men don't find attractive, especially if they're a high quality man, won't have to fool with, won't have to put up with it, and they will just move on and find someone who's easier to deal with, because you don't want to live with that. If I was in here acting a fool, my husband wouldn't have tolerated it. Let's see, what else did she have? She said, she said, "You may have to face something about yourself that will be hard to do." She said she had to face it. She was bitter. That she was controlling, And then she was saying, although I did have a good reason, I had no right to continue behaving badly because God was willing to set her free. Oh my goodness, this is powerful stuff. I'll probably reread it as many times as it takes for me to get past some of the things that I struggle with. My thing is not with my husband as much, but more with my mother. So I'm working on that. And then she said, you may not feel ready to face something painful, but the Holy Spirit, who is your helper, will be with you each step of the way, and he will strengthen and enable you to do it. And she was saying easy things never make you stronger, but difficult things do. And so this whole healing process is one of those. Take God's hand and trust his guidance, even if you don't understand it. And so I read this morning. I'm not afraid of difficulty because I know God enables me to do whatever I need to do in life. So this stuff is real, and it's helped me to be a nicer person, because you would never think of all the things that I've been through based on this sunny disposition that you're seeing, the laughing and the joking. Never judge a person by what you see, because you don't know what they've been through. And that's why I'm not ashamed to mention to people, that grew up in the projects, and, and that my father, was just totally out of pocket. And because the benefit of me being transparent is hopefully going to help other women and resolve their issue. So often people are so quick to condemn women and just say, oh, she's just wretched, she doesn't know how to act, she's just a bad egg or whatever. That's a goofy expression from Charlie Brown. But you just don't know the hurt that might be there. So I'm speaking to you, woman to woman, just in case you have some hurt that's deep down that has you acting a fool. We got to get that under control so you can find the husband of your dreams or your Mr. Right. If I could, you can too. So I got to take care of that myself, and you do too. But anyway, hopefully that helps somebody out there. I'm going to try to remember to edit this video, but if you see a video where I ran away to get that picture, try to show your girl some grace, because I'm crazy and I'm burning up too. But anyway, guys, hopefully that helps. Look forward to making more videos and talking to you soon. Love to hear your comments as well. In the meantime, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.